Hey buddy, what's going on? It's me, John D. Villarreal, and today I'm talking about the Rode DS2, the desktop studio arm. I just got this. I'm very excited about this. Like, it took months since I ordered this. It was back ordered, and I'm very excited about this one right here. First, I have to say a few things. Number one, I bought this with my own money. Number two, these are my own true honest opinions. And number three, this video is not sponsored by Rode or anybody else. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unbox this and I'm gonna compare it. This is what I'm using right now. Literally for my different broadcasts and my radio show. I use this right here, the Rode NT1 5th Gen, which is really cool. And I just have a nice little stand right here that I bought, that's a microphone stand, and it's fine. This hopefully is gonna give me totally next level. We're gonna find out. Okay, so here I've opened the box and I'm gonna just try to slide this out. Let's see. It's packed definitely very cleanly here. Now, definitely sort of surprises me, like, just in general, the size of it, or the lack of size. I think you push this out right here, okay. It's like a multi-step process. All right, it is like a kind of like a little book, almost. Whoa.
It's very neatly
put together, very neatly packed. Yeah, I think there's something in here. I'm not sure what it is, maybe. It's like there's a lot of different things, there's nooks and crannies. Okay, yeah, so there's like little instructions, and you've got some different tools and things right here in this box right here. I mean, that is like, as Salma says, so neatly packed. Okay, so let me just remove this right here. Okay, so here we go. Everything just slides out. Definitely packed very cleanly and tightly in there. And now, let me just very carefully open this up. I want to just preserve everything. Now the base is actually relatively solid. Definitely, it's definitely weighted down.
Very heavy.
Yeah, it's very heavy. Like, if you feel like, honestly, like this alone, this base is heavier than this entire setup.
And also larger.
It feels like that.
Yeah.
So right here, I guess we'll just use this in grams and let's see what this looks like. 1,400 grams with the microphone. Okay, so that's this stand here with, I think this is Inno gear if I'm remembering correctly. I'll have to double check, but it's a stand that I got. A simple desktop stand that's been very nice, very clean. It definitely works with the Rode NT1, and that's 1,410 grams, okay? So let me take this out. Now just the base here. Okay, that's interesting. So I was a little bit wrong on that. But just the base is 1,046 grams. But again, no microphone, without the microphone. So definitely, in my opinion, we'll find out here as we put it all together, that, you know, the base alone is heavier than the Inno gear stand, in my opinion. We'll find out. That's why it's nice to have this. But I was wrong and you're incorrect, and we'll update that the base by itself is not heavier than all this together. It maybe feels a little different just because of the position of all the weight, but this is definitely a solid base. So here you can see that you've got the screws to put in here, looks like at the base, where you will attach that, and that then attaches here, and this is the boom arm. Very interesting. Like, I mean, this is not what I expected in terms of, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. This is actually pretty exciting because it does give you a very, you know, sleek and minimalist, if you will, profile for your microphone stand. And I think it looks really, really good. Okay, now this is almost assembled. Here at the bottom, we just put those screws in there and attached it. You can see this is very sort of minimalist here, and a nice heavy plate. And you can easily adjust these and just do different things. You can flip these around. So if you can have like an overhead camera, you can do like a microphone. So very, very cool. And I'm looking, and it's very clean. I like, you know, if you compare the look here, I think this is going to be very interesting. Now you also have, a big thread here, but you can put this on and have a smaller thread here. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put this NT1 5th gen on this Rode stand and see what it looks like, and then we'll have that final comparison. Let's do that right now. Okay, now I don't know if this is gonna pick up or not, and it's a small thing. I don't think it's a big deal, but I just wanted to, doing a fair review here, I want to show it. I don't really feel like I have anything on my hands. Maybe I have something, who knows, from eating, maybe olive oil or something, I don't really know. But there's just, because of the finish, you can see sort of my fingerprints on that. Not a big deal, I'm sure it'll clean right up.
You can put a little bit of water in.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll clean right up.
Cloth.
Now, it's already starting to go away. Now again, and it's very smooth. To me, it's no big deal. I mean, that's gonna be something that happens, but it just, some people out there, maybe that makes a difference to them, I don't know. Different than this one, like here I can touch it and it's a different kind of finish. So not a big deal, I just want to mention that very quickly. So here's the Rode NT1 with the shock mount and the pop filter on it and the Rode WS2 on it, okay? Now here is, I believe this is the Inno Gear desktop stand. I'll have to double check that. I'm not, and then you can see where you can adjust it. And this has been worked very well for me. And you can see it has the big thread there versus the Rode, and I can put that right on, which I'm gonna do, and hopefully it's gonna give me some different nice adjustability. We'll find out, but you can see what these look like without the microphone on them. And then if I get back to the stand, actually this is, or sorry, just the stand, this is actually good here where we can just measure the actual stands with the things on them right now. That's probably gonna be helpful. All right, so looking at just grams, standalone, 668, 670 grams, okay? Whereas the Rode DS2, standalone, 1272, 1274. So almost 1280. Almost twice as much is the Rode. So that's very interesting. Okay, so here it is mounted, and I don't know, I've got a little bit of mixed feelings about, I do like that it's really cool. I mean, this one's very simple, but I have limited, adjustability on it, but definitely, it kind of hangs over here. I can just move it in and out. It's very nice. This one, I just got it. I just put it on here with my NT1. Now, what's cool is that I do have some flexibility in how I set this up. That might help give me a little bit of a different profile for the microphone. So I can do like this, and this is probably how I'll try to do this, tighten it maybe, well, let me go here. And you can see these are very easy to adjust, but you definitely have to know how big your microphone is and kind of adjust thereabout. This is kind of like where I would probably be, getting the value out of this when I'm doing my broadcast, is if I tighten it up here and I tighten it up here, and you want to make sure that it's tight, and it's pretty easy to move. Okay, that's probably pretty good. So now I've got the setup here, and I can do this without having, this wouldn't be, yes, it would come up here and stuff, but I mean, now this is more angled towards me. So just trying to simulate this, this one here, it would be straight on, so I'd have to have it at a certain height, and I couldn't really adjust it. Whereas this, because I can just get a little bit of an angle on that, I'm able to have that here without crowding my face for a shot. And that's really the goal, right? I mean, that's really what it is to be able to, if you're doing microphone work and you're broadcasting, you need a microphone near you, right? That's unless you're doing the boom shots, whatever. But if you're using a traditional radio broadcast microphone, or the SM7Bs or the podcast and stuff like that, then you're probably gonna have to have a microphone there. With the DS2, I can adjust the microphone to me, whereas with the other stands, I have to adjust the microphone without using the big boom arms and things like that. So this gives me some different options here where I can kind of just do some different things. I can even go like this. I think I've kind of, with this one, I've gotten kind of to the end of where I could go here. Just a little bit more there maybe, but right out there. And now I've got that here. Definitely feels nice and high quality, and I can have that here. I can have that here, and it's gonna work out well, and I'm shooting right into the camera, it's not blocking my face. And that's nice. So it's a little more low profile, and you have adjustability. Also, you can use, because you've got the different attachments, you could put a camera on there for like, you know, product shots, things like that. I think it's pretty cool. There's different things we can use in this. I'm just starting to explore it, but I think it's very nice. I think it's very high quality. You gotta put a little bit more time into it. Just, you know, anytime you're dealing with high quality equipment and stuff, just kind of getting the different adjustments. But once you have the microphone mounted, then it's pretty easy to kind of make some different adjustments. And you may want to do some different things. I mean, I'm just guessing, I have no idea. This is probably almost exactly how I would use it, honestly. But let me just see what it would kind of be like at a different position, and if that would kind of be interesting. Like if I just did this straight on, like I normally would do with a regular stand, to just maybe have a comparison. Oh. So you definitely, like, this is at the extent of, yeah, that's interesting right there. That's as a review. You know, as an extent of the stand, this is gonna be like maybe not the greatest leverage point. So you really have to have that kind of set up right, but this just shows you. Weight-wise, I think it's fine. But normally I would be like here. Definitely more, how's that look? Definitely more intrusive in my face. Right? It's okay, it's fine. This is a lot of times how I work it. And so you know, you have some people that will do like the side address or things like that. But you can see, like, this is normally, if I had a desktop stand, if it was like this, that's probably how it would be. It would be right here, boom, like this. And it's okay, but it's covering up some of my face. You know, it depends on the angle of and the distance of the camera, and the framing of the shot might be covering up a fair amount of my face. But what's cool here is, again, if I go back to, and then you can see, like with this, if I flip this around, I could have a camera attached right here and do a product shot, or extend this out and do some different things, and that's kind of cool there, right? But just for my purposes, why I got this is now I can, again, drop this back down here, and you can see it's easy to adjust, but you have to support this. Now I understand what that one, you definitely have to support. In my opinion, I think the safer move is to support whatever you've got on there until you've got it positioned where you want it, and then put it here. I'm gonna make another adjustment here in a second. And now from here, so you have to kind of fine tune it to where you want it. But now look at that versus this. So right here, I can do that, and that's huge. That right there is a big deal. So if you're doing serious broadcast presentation, or you want to fine tune your microphone work where you want to be, what kind of level of proximity effect that you want to have, this really gives you that. And then you can see I was moving positions in real time. It's very easy to move the positions in real time and be able to use this now for like a second camera, a second shot. That would be very, very cool, where I would put my camera in here. Now the camera I would attach, which is the one I'm using right now, quite frankly, and I'll have to take this all out. But you could see where you could easily like put this up here, flip this around, that would post down. So I think it's very, very good. I wasn't quite sure what to expect based upon, you know, the pictures and the advertisements that I saw online. I somehow thought it was going to be a little bit bigger and maybe whatever, but I mean, it just works and it's very clean. What do you think, Salma?
I love it, and I think you can really maneuver it different way, whether you are standing, sitting, and you have like more adjustability.
Right. And instead of the mic being here, exactly. It's more like here, and it's totally different.
Like there's a different level where you can adjust it compared to the other one.
And I'm excited to use this for a camera too, honestly, for like product shots and stuff like that, like cooking videos or review videos. I could see where we could easily extend this out, put this on here. We have the different, so.
And you know, John, also another thing,
1 second.
that it's very flexible.
Yeah, it's flexible. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Now, see here, instead of using the included thread that's basically this size, right? You would attach this to here, right? This is this attachment, but you do it on here, and now that you can attach your cameras and stuff like that, and then flip this down, then you have, like you said, you have your product shots and things, and that's very cool too. So look, all in all, I think this is really cool. I think it's really great. I think I'm so happy that I finally have it now. I can't wait to start using it, and I have a backup stand, so that's great. On a 1 to 10, I really, really love it. I'm tempted to give it a 10, but I'm gonna give it a 9.9. and which is a super high rating. And the only reason I'm giving a 9.9 is just a couple things. One is just the finish, you know, with the fingerprints and like that. That doesn't bother me at all, but it might bother other people. But it cleans up very easily. It's not a big deal. But the real reason I'm giving it the 9.9 instead of 10 is because you just need to be aware when, I mean, it's almost a perfect desktop stand. It's out of the way, it's cool, it takes up very little desktop space. Very little desktop space. I mean, almost as little as this stand, but it takes up a little bit more to give you that flexibility. But this, I don't feel like this is a major difference in real estate, in my opinion. But the advantage to this is, for a very small profile, you now have so much adjustability and a clean form factor that takes the mic out of your face, but still allows you to do that close-up microphone work. I can do it right here. You can still see my face. In a podcast or broadcast or streaming, that's huge. That's a huge, huge benefit. But the reason I'm saying 9.9 is when you adjust it, you have to make sure it's good and tight. It's not maximum stable, if you will, because of the adjustability where you might put those vectors or leverage points. You just have to be a little bit aware and a little bit careful. As my old boss used to say, your strength is your weakness. Because of the level of adjustability and the small form factor, you just have to, because of the multiple joints, you have to be conscious of every joint being locked down right and tight enough for, you know, and the load being set correctly, okay? This is one spot. Once you have it here and you have it set up, you're pretty much okay. Okay, yeah, you have this adjustability, but if you have it flat, you have that locked in, you really don't have to do anything. I can move this around the table and whatnot like that. Here, once I'm locked in, yes, I can move it, but even here, it's like as I pick it up, it's like, oh, okay, the load's over here. Like, you have to be a little bit more, here the load would be straight over here. So, because of the adjustability, when you adjust it, you just have to be conscious of where the weight is, supporting the weight, you know, getting everything set, what your angles and vectors, you know, not a big deal. It's not a huge deal, but you just have, in my opinion, it's no big deal. Okay, and the net effect and the advantages are way bigger than that. That's the only thing. You just have to be conscious of it when you're moving things around, that you have it set up right and you have everything locked down appropriately. But it's very easy to move, very easy to adjust. I love the look of it, and the bottom line is I got what I wanted. A small form factor that fits on my desk, a microphone that's going to work well for me in terms of being able to adjust. Hey, there's Janae over here, and the microphone's out of my face when I'm doing a show. I almost feel like I'm doing a show now, and I'm adjusting the microphone. Would you like Daddy's new stand?
Yeah.
Nice. So I'm saying 9.9 out of 10. I think it's great. I think this is a home run. Rode did a great job with the DS2, the desktop studio arm. This is phenomenal. I really, really like it a lot. I can't wait to start using it, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be my main stand from now. So I love it. You may love it as well. Thanks so much for watching. I'm John DeVillero. I'll see you next time.